Magandang gabi, Pilipinas, and welcome to Pitch Talk Philippines, live at the stadium. Now, for the very first time ever, Pitch Talk is coming to you live from inside the new Clark City Stadium, overlooking the pitch as the Philippine men's national football team gears up for their final home match of the year. Our boys in blue are set to take on Timor Leste in their latest clash in the 2027 AFC Asian Cup Qualifiers. And you can definitely feel the energy from here. The fans are here, they're all excited, and it's all about ending the last home game on a high. Now, my name is Fiona Bacani, your host for tonight, and joining me for our special Pitch Talk studio are two familiar voices. Sports journalist Clara Manzano, and making her first appearance on the panel, former national team player and now the president of the Philippine Women's National Football Association, none other than Natasha Alquiros Dato. Hello, welcome back, Claro, and welcome, Natasha, to Pitch Talk Philippines.
Yeah, thanks a lot, Fiona. I mean, it's been quite a day, I could say. You could feel the buzz. I arrived really early before people came, and ramdam mo na eh. And the players have that momentum after that 4-1 win in Darwin, Australia, right? Which is where Timor Leste playing their home game. So they want to replicate that or do even better. At home, of course. It's more special every time the national team gets to play a home game right here in the Philippines.
Yeah, definitely. I was outside earlier and the fans were so excited. I asked them to cheer. They were all cheering really loudly for the Philippines. So it's just such a sight to see, especially since it's their last home game.
Exactly. And of course, with this atmosphere, it's really electric being here live, surrounded by fans. It really hits you that football in the Philippines is growing. And nights like this really remind us why we love the game. You know, I was walking around that fan zone earlier, and you see that they're selling memorabilia. Literally, the players' heads shaped into fans, cards, scarves, jerseys. You can get whatever you want down there as well. You want beer? You want booze, you want coffee, you want buko juice, you know, and all kinds of food. So I love that they're creating that kind of atmosphere for a home game.
Yeah, also actually the mango graham shakes outside, I was so happy to see. You know, there's nothing, and nothing beats playing here at home. Talagang Pilipinong-Pilipino yung araw na to. So it's such a great thing to witness. And Tasha, again, you know, first of all, welcome to Pitch Talk Philippines. It's great to have you here with us for the first time. And truly, what a night it is to join us. So actually, we did want to ask, you know, from a player's point of view, how important is it for the boys to close their home campaign, especially in front of this kind of crowd?
It's huge, Fiona. The home advantage with this kind of support really gives it players an emotional lift. You can feel the crowd behind you every chant, every time they raise that flag, and when they sing that national anthem, you'll really feel it on a deeper level. And of course, it pushes you to give everything on the pitch in front of that home fans. Especially, of course, that we're coming from such good momentum from winning our game against Timor Leste 4-1. Bjorn Christensen, of course, scoring 4 goals. He will really definitely lead the charge in this. 14 appearances, 12 goals. That's crazy stats.
It is.
And of course, 7 goals in 3 matches so far in this Asian Cup qualifiers. That's such an important note. And if we want to do well, we want to, of course, make sure that we grab that win.
Yeah. So tonight's all about, you know, being the hungrier team, especially in front of this kind of crowd. It's home court advantage, definitely. And, you know, Clara, tactically speaking now, what should our fans here expect from the Philippines tonight?
For me, ride that wave of momentum because there's that chemistry already, there's confidence. You do not want to lose it when you have it already. Control that midfield. Garrett Holtman's in the lineup now. Manny Ott's back after serving a suspension. I know, like, the hardworking team behind also did a count, and this is gonna be Manny Ott's 60th appearance for the national team. He's our captain, so there's that discipline also they got to show last time. So if you get that strong start, convert chances, do well, convert it to goals, and then stay disciplined, then things will go the way of the Philippines. Easier said than done. Because we know Timor Leste, they're a very strong team.
Yes.
Very lively on the counter-attack. So that's the other thing that you have to look for because you have to respect this Timor Leste squad.
Yeah, kahit bilog ang bola, you know, it's definitely about respecting the game, respecting the other players. At this point, we really can't be complacent. So it's all about giving it their all, especially on home soil. So there's definitely so much to look forward to tonight. The team's form is peaking at just the right time, and the fans are already here, ready to cheer them on, to roar them on. And guys, let's continue to support the team. Share your love with the hashtags Laban Pilipinas and hashtag Sama Sama. So stay with us. We'll definitely have more pre-match insights and reactions as Pitch Talk Talk Philippines live at the stadium continues. For now, see you guys at halftime.
yes, we know that it's a very important game for us, and we are ready for it. We have been working in the match plan, and we hope that with the support of our fans here at home, we can get the 3 points.
The atmosphere is good. It's always nice to come with a win, gives you confidence and everything. I just hope that we can do even better because we feel that we have things that we can improve, and hopefully we can show it today. Finish.
Sim, mentalidade é uma mentalidade de a importância que este jogo tem para nós, o processo de crescimento desta equipa, queremos dar essa continuidade, vai ser o nosso segundo jogo contra uma equipa difícil, mas vamos tentar dar o nosso melhor e o nosso objetivo principal hoje é continuarmos a crescer como equipa.
Our mindset for this game will be continuing doing what we've been doing to grow as a team. We played Philippines before at our home stadium, but now we're gonna try everything and to play here in Philippines. We know that they are the strongest side in the group, but we have to do everything we can to perform well.
Thank you.
Yeah, so first of all, it's gonna be exciting because it's my first time to play in Philippines with my national team as well. But for me, it's gonna be a good atmosphere today, and yeah, it's exciting. It's gonna be an exciting game.
Thank you very much.
Thank you. Thank you.
evening to football fans tuning in here, of course, and especially to those around the world. We are here at the New Clark City Athletic Stadium in Capas, Tarlac. It's the reverse fixture, Philippines versus Timor Leste, and it is in the AFC Asian Cup 2027 Qualifiers final round. We have the Philippines here again, and Timor Leste from Group A. There's also a simultaneous game, interestingly, between Maldives and Tajikistan. So we'll keep our tabs on this one. So glad you could join us. This is Claro Manzan, your commentator, alongside former national team player Natasha Alquiros-Data, who will serve as our analyst. Things getting nail-biting right here in Group A. I'd like to thank Natasha.
Definitely an exciting game to be able to cover between the Philippines and Timor Leste. A couple of days ago, of course, it was the Philippines that took 4-1-0 against them. So let's see how they'll shape up this time around.
It's a 4-3-3 right here for Timor Leste coach Jose Pedro, making 4 changes. Very interesting. He is also changing his goalkeepers. We did see also a number of their players take some knocks and some changes there again for the Timorese. Let's head over in a bit also to the Philippines to see how this crew of Coach Carles Cuadrat will be shaping up. As expected, a 4-3-3, 2 changes here for them.
Definitely 2 changes were made. Holtman is in alongside with Manny Ott, who will be wearing the captain's armband, replacing Gayoso and Amani Aguinaldo. As you mentioned, they have that 4-3-3 formation.
And with our match officials, they are from Thailand, led by referee Torbong Somsing, assisted by Rachin Srichai and Apichit Nopwan. They are the assistants. And Songkran Bumikyart is the 4th official. Our match commissioner is Michael Bortalio from Guam, and referee assessor Mohamed Hassan is also the man in charge with them. And we have a look at our substitutes, game changers, potentially in this one.
Both the Philippines and, of course, for Timor Leste. Interesting change-up, of course, for Timor Leste. Joao Pedro not in the starting lineup for them. He is one of the 2 players that have scored goals for their side in the AFC Asian Cup qualifications.
Now, something also with the changes of Timor Leste, it is not Jorginho da Silva who is their starting goalkeeper. They are opting to go with Jonildo Pereira. And the reason why I mention this is because Jorginho did start the first 3 games for them. Interesting move right here, but we are aware, of course, that there's plenty of experience here with their goalkeeper who will man the post when you refer to Jonildo once more. Philippines in all blue, Timor Leste will be in all white. It is the reverse fixture again. So the Philippine squad virtually unchanged, just 2 changes made as we've mentioned. Timor Leste, 4 changes, so that could be a curveball that could change this up again, as we are going to kick this one off already at the New Clark City Athletic Stadium in Capas, Tarlac. And there you go, this match was kicked off by Zion Cruz.
And as we mentioned, the first time that these 2 teams won against each other just a couple of days ago, it was the Philippines who won 4-1 against them. That was an away fixture for the Philippines, so they'll definitely have that home advantage and that momentum coming into this game.
That game, of course, was played in Darwin, Australia, where Timor Leste are playing their home games at the moment. They're trying to dictate things quickly as expected, led by Ryan Jom playing left back. We thought for a moment they were going to give it back to Anicio Correa, but it is with the goalkeeper in Jonildo. The press here from the Philippines, and it was won. They're trying to knock it to Garrett Holtman. He was not in the squad last game, as is the case with Zico Bailey. Bailey, though, is on the bench. It's still inside, but the flag is up from the linesman. No good there for Randy Schneider, who was aggressive. Captain Manny Ott pictured also there. Manny Ott did get, or it is his 60th cap already, as we were anticipating. Given away cheaply by Timor Leste.
Philippines, of course, have played 3 games, 2 wins, 1 draw. They have 7 points, tied at the top of Group A alongside Tajikistan, who also have 2 wins and 1 draw. Well, we are ahead by goal difference.
Bjorn Christensen, looping ball. It was knocked over to the side. Timor Leste will concede a corner kick early on. Because when you talk about it, it's very cutthroat. You have a 4-team group again. We did say, other than the Philippines and Timor Leste, there is the likes of Maldives and Tajikistan. If you want to qualify, win all your games. Easier said than done, of course. Two players standing up to the plate. They're keeping the defense, and the people here in the stadium guessing, and they played it short. Kempter, relatively quiet in that last game, but they got the job done. Numbers in the box, they are calling for it. It's off the woodwork. Nihom wanted to bounce in the rebound, but it is handled well. The back line of Timor Leste cleaning up. The Lafaek, or the Crocodiles, that is their team moniker. And cleared here. It went to the opposing number 8, the skipper Manny Ott again. Sandro Reyes was pulled. Referee set advantage as this shot from distance is wide, but very aggressive from the Philippines, making the Timorese work.
And that was a great corner kick play there. They played it short. Gets across inside the box. Keeper was already beat. Jeff Davinas just couldn't keep that in a frame. Hits the post. And it's still 0-0. But a strong start for the Philippines.
Will those nerves kick in for the Philippines, given that they hit the post early on already and could not convert on that? Sometimes there's just bad luck in a situation like that. The switch here, great intention, execution unideal, but there was the thumbs up from Joao Rangel applauding that effort. It will be played at the back by Kevin Ray Mendoza. And he is club mates with Jeff Tabinas, wherein they play in Thailand. The thing here, though, you have to be concerned with the Philippines. Undefeated, but no clean sheets to show. Goes the other way, the skipper, Paulo Cali. Yeah, Leipold was calling for it on the right. Holtman bringing it up. Gave it to Leipold, who was calling for it. Steps on the brakes, getting the defense to dance. Numbers lurking in the box, as is the case for the defense. They knocked it to Manny Ott. And that shot on the ground, easily read by the keeper.
The Philippines showing that they can hold the ball, especially in the attacking third. A lot of their attacking players very technically gifted.
And it was collected by Ott. Once upon a time, there were Ott brothers in the Philippines. Manny's younger brother.
It's good, of course, have Manny Ott back in the starting 11. He's a player so important in transition, as we saw earlier in the screen. Able to win back possession quickly for the Philippines.
And as we were talking about off-air also, and maybe even the pre-game, Manny Ott did not play in the last game due to suspension. He accumulated yellow cards. He got one versus Maldives, and he got one versus Tajikistan. So a lot of people were scratching their heads in the beginning. Where is the captain? Here he is now. Perhaps fitting his 60th cap is at home. Play ball, dangerous ball. I think Holtman wanted that in a different way. Sandro Reyes, one of the Iron Men here, playing the full 90 minutes in all games so far. Chested by Bjorn Christensen. He may have mishit that, but the defense was there to change it up. Long ball. Kempter did give it to the opposing side now. They play this one through. Looking dangerous for Timor Leste, but it's stopped by the back line.
We saw earlier when Timor-Leste played it short, the Philippines quick with that high press, able to win it in an attacking position and turn that into a chance. But for Timor-Leste, they're so quick on the counterattack. When it played it long from that volley, just 1, 2, 3 touches, tried to create a chance inside the box and have now won a corner kick.
The Philippines and Timor-Leste familiar with one another, given that they are both also members of the Asian Football Federation. They also do meet in the regional level, given that. Dangerous ball in, and it was collected by Kevin Ray Mendoza. Oh, and that volley bounced off a teammate. Open goal. Mendoza got to secure, but it's off his line. And then there is eventually a call. And judge, I believe it's offside from the movement of the linesman. Play will continue. Just to wrap up, of course, the Timor Leste, known as the Lafayette or the crocodiles, a deeply symbolic animal in their culture. It's at the back now with the keeper. It's the first start again here for Jonildo Pereira. Holtman playing on the other side now. They tried to get it to Christensen, but he may have been on offside. Lovely ball here to the right wing. The skipper getting through. Mukali gets hit. Oh, the Timor-Leste technical area furious. They wanted a call. You see Andre Leopold will slow it down now. Just 8 minutes in. Holtman playing narrow. Had the intention to play it to Christensen. What a feat here for Bjorn Christensen. 14 caps. Now he's 15th, and he has 12 goals. He's already in the top 10 for all-time goal scorers in the Philippines.
And especially in this tournament, 7 goals in 3 games.
There's the intention to press from the Philippines. You also love the confidence from Timor-Leste. Build up from the back. Bjorn Christensen, along with the likes of the Philiang husbands, the Chiefy Kaligtongs, when it comes to top scorers for the Philippines. Timor-Leste, they do have, or their top goal scorers for the country are still active, actually, with the likes of Joao Pedro. He's on the bench, though. There's also Muzinho. Interesting, though. Joao Pedro, who was on the bench, scored his first international goal against the Philippines 7 years ago.
Player to look out for Timor-Leste. Have Paulo Gali, who scored that 1 goal for them in their fixture, wherein the Philippines won 4-1. But it was a dangerous attack, so you know what he's capable of doing given time and space on the ball.
Paulo Gali has seen plenty of success against the Philippines in the youth level. He scored in that game. Yes, it was a 4-1 loss, but at that point in time, it was actually 2-1. He got them within striking distance. At that point in time, that goal more than a mere consolation. They look to lead them by example, of course, also. Tabina surveys Nihom. He did play the holding midfield position last game. It's Bjorn Christensen trying to outmuscle the defense. Gets it in traffic. The shot is denied well, though, by the goalkeeper. Cleared off. Kali showing us his skill. You see, he was calling for it. He wanted to build up himself. He was dropping down. Distributed it to the right, and so far it's working out. They'll go with Gali as expected. Over to Joao Rangel. They tried to play him earlier on the left. It was collected, though, by Joseph Pakay. Sends it back to his keeper. Joao Rangel does play for Leiston FC, which is in England. Philippines opting to play it left. Was that a miss-hit there? But nonetheless, it was offside. Just 11 minutes in. You feel the tide going towards one team at the moment, but very early, though.
You could say that the Philippines had the closest chance so far in the game. They've had 2 close attempts already. One hitting the post and the other, Pereira, having to make a save. But Timor-Leste, the few moments that they have attacked, they have looked dangerous as well.
Some chance here from the VVIP area. away fans or supporters for Timor Leste, no surprise. They did have a very good contingent in presence over at Darwin, Australia. They're playing their passing game now. Trying to go for Joao Rangel again. He'll go up against the right back, Joseph Bakay. The cross in! Very close here. Timorese could not meet it.
So they haven't had a chance on target, but they're giving those dangerous balls inside the box. Just haven't been connecting with a teammate inside.
But it seems both teams have been able to somewhat start their engines in this game when we talk about getting the ball into the box. This is the case here. Kali looking for a teammate. Gets it to the left. And the cross came off here of Bakay. It will be a corner kick. It was won by Ryan Jom as he was trying to cross that one in. The Philippines ranked 143 in the world. Timor Leste ranked 194. You could say it's quite a big gap, but as we've said also, never underestimate this Timor Leste squad, a very energetic squad and the counter-attack. As they got to display, Exhibit A is the goal of Paulo Gali.
Also, they only lost 1-0 against Tajikistan. They beat the Maldives as well.
This one was cleared off by Kempter. Both teams will look to organize coming out of that corner kick. Played back here to Pereira. Getting his center backs open up. Nelson Viegas. The home fans and the away fans exchanging chants. Rangel again. The home now. The center back. You swing it to the middle. Intercepted by Holtman. A winger dropping back to help out in defense. Timor Leste getting the opposing defense now to stay down. Now they're going to try and build up. Timor Leste again in all white, Philippines in all blue.
You can see Holtman as well swinging again on his favorable left side. For a moment, you'd see you switching as well, playing on the right, and then now back on that left side.
Dangerous combinations now. It seems this cross is overhit and it will go out for a Mendoza goal kick. Let's assess the scenarios here. A win for the Philippines will solidify their push for qualification. Again, only the #1 team here in Group A will advance to the tournament proper, the AFC Asian Cup 2027. A Timor-Leste win makes this wide open and just makes it a 3-horse race potentially. Some space now for Bjorn Christensen to operate. The defense got to recover. Creeping through. No angle for that ball. Sandro Reyes will try to collect. Reyes did bag and assist in that last game. He also did create or was involved in one of the other goals of Bjorn Christensen. Christensen, as we've said, scored 4 goals in that win last time around. Challenge from behind. Our linesman says it's a foul. It's against Ryan Jom.
And that was good work from Bakay to just bring it up down that right-hand side. Saw that he had a teammate already in that offside position, didn't make the pass. He dribbled it down the line, wins a foul in a dangerous area.
For Timor-Leste also, yes, he did mention they made 4 changes to their starting lineup. They are also without the services of Francisco da Costa. He was hurt early in that last game in Australia and was subbed off early on. So we hope he recovers quickly, of course. And the Philippines with players who do play their club football overseas. A great number of them have gone through the local league in the Philippines, the PFL. Here's the ball whipped in, an outswinger. It came off the head of a Philippine player. No good for Bjorn Christensen. just passed the quarter-hour mark already right here. We are coming to you from the New Clark City Athletic Stadium in Capas, Tarlac. So glad you could join us again.
Philippines putting on that high press again.
You reap the benefit as we see. Interesting, the Philippines playing it back rather than just opting to attack after winning that ball. Interesting also with our coaches. For the Philippines, there's Coach Carlos Cuadrat from Spain. And for Timor Leste, there's Jose Pedro, who is from Portugal. So they are from neighboring countries, our respective coaches. On here by the Lafayette. Zenivio Mota. Headed over to Paulo Gali. You could argue Santiago da Costa thought about it. Both teams playing patient football. How are we going to separate these teams? Because they are playing, or both playing the 4-3-3.
You could say that the Philippines creating more chances, putting the ball in danger situations. Again, they've already tested the goalkeeper. And as we've mentioned, just haven't been clinical with the chances that they've created.
Things getting physical. There's a foul that will go the way of Philippines left back Michael Kempter.
And as you mentioned earlier as well, they put on that high press, won the ball in a dangerous area, sent it all the way back, but eventually lost possession doing so.
Nihom, that's not the first time he's played it long. The keeper a bit shaky here, but he's in his safe zone from after a bit. Still too close for comfort, I would like to think, in the perspective of the Timor-Leste goalkeeper. Joao Panji knocked it back to Jonildo Pereira. The 18th appearance for Pereira, the goalkeeper today. They play this one through. Joao Rangel. He has that personal battle now with Joseph Bakay. Jom, will he cross? That is the case. Low and plenty of power and recovered by Randy Schneider. Cleared off, going for Christensen, who's shown some physicality. Seemed like he was asking for a whistle. Sandro Reyes got the ball going the attacking direction now for the Philippines, the team in blue. Both teams trying to break down the other. Keeping the ball on the ground. Also trying to pound sometimes on foot races here and there. As is the case here. Options now wide. Timor-Leste using the width of the pitch. Earlier they went left, now they're going the other side. They also look dangerous in the middle. Calling for it now. They wanted Jom to go out wide. Claudio Osorio. Kali. He'll play this one back. If there's Paolo Gali, the facilitator for Timor-Leste as of late, I'd like to think, from what we've been seeing, there's been a great number of Philippine players trying to start those engines. Rangel cutting inside. Jom. There's the overlap also from Osorio. We were about to say Osorio is one of those Iron Men for Timor-Leste. But he did get sub last game. He came close to playing the full 90 in all games. That takes a lot from these players to play a full 90.
You could see as well a better start for Timor-Leste as compared to their game against the Philippines in Darwin, Australia.
Holtman putting pressure. The keeper had to release. But because of that, there's plenty of space now down the right. That was great from Joao Panji. It's this chess match that is going on in the midfield.
And you feel like the first 20 minutes of this game, it's been very open. So it's back-to-back action for both sides.
And Timor-Leste hits the gas. Gali getting inside. We await the signal from the linesman and says it's a corner kick once more for the Timorese.
Something Timor-Leste have been good at, winning corner.
Both teams have opted to slow down the game a bit, not your usual Southeast Asian style of play. Now, this is promising for Timor-Leste. It's obvious they have the speed. They're showing some discipline now. We do know the Philippines from time to time would like to slow the game down. Well, it will be a corner once more here for Paulo Gali and company.
That's right, in this match we saw very fast and high intense first 15 minutes.
In swinger again, there's the defensive header. It was off the boot of Randy Schneider. The initiative here is with Timor-Leste. Zinivio Mota plays it back. And in this spell, it's the visitors taking the fight to the home side. You could feel the tension from the home fans who are still continuing to trickle in.
Of course, this game is at the new Clark City Athletic Stadium. One of the best venues in the Philippines, I might say.
The field here with the natural grass pitch. As this ball was overhit by the Lafayette or the Crocodiles. Just going back with this stadium, of course, here's the fans who've come out. And it is, as always, it's a weekday for international football. Still a great number of people making the effort to come here and support the men's national team. That was also the case for Timor-Leste back again in Australia. They do have that community there, a strong one. Going back with this venue, this is also where AFC Champions League 2 games are played for the Philippines. We've seen Kaya, FC Iloilo make this stadium their home. Approaching the 25-minute mark already here. Anything here that strikes you at the moment?
As you mentioned, it's been just a really open game, back-to-back action. Philippines good at winning possession and in an attacking position already, but just not quickly able to convert winning back possession into chances.
So let's see, of course, which team will be able to make those in-game adjustments. That could just spell the difference here. There's that press from the Philippines. They've been displaying that as of late. If Timor-Leste could escape, they'll have plenty of space at the back. If the Philippines get this, they'll be really close to the opposing goalkeeper.
That's why it's so important to have a coordinated press.
Just 1 foot wrong, that's a very expensive or hefty price.
And in the game of football, you have to make those big gambles to get those rewards.
As they say, of course, no risk. You're not going to reap any rewards. And as Nelson Viegas was trying to get forward, that came off of Garrett Holtman. Player, of course, with Bundesliga experience. This is the second home cap of Garrett Holtman. Of course, in that instance, we are excluding caps while they were away or overseas. But overall, this is the 7th for the man donning the number 17 jersey for the Philippines. Holtman again did not feature in the previous game. Nihom under pressure, gets it back to Tabinas. No Tabinas brothers, just Jeff today. Chance on the break, Christensen. Thought he got poked for a moment. Leipold takes a touch in the box, a fake, the shot, and it hits the side of the net. Fans, of course, here. How do you describe it? The frustration from the home side, but the relief from the visiting fans.
For a moment, the fans cheering, thinking that was a goal, but they hit that side netting. But what a play from Schneider to be able to turn, find that pass through the lines, finding Christensen. Christensen, of course, setting it up for Leipold. That was close. Another great chance going begging.
And let's remember, the Philippines hit the post also earlier in the first 5 minutes of the game or so. Chance here from the home side. Driving on the team in blue. Joao Rangel also allowed Timor Leste to space the opposing defense. Cuts inside. Flicked it back. That was creative. And the shot, though, it came off a defender. And it will be a corner kick right here for the visitors.
As you mentioned, again, Timor Leste is so quick on the transition. On the left-hand side, they've been very dominant. That's where they've created most of their chances. With Rangel on that left leading the attack.
If you go on the left, there's Joao Rangel. And you do see Paulo Gali playing in the center, but has that license to go to the right side. For the Philippines, we've seen some similar creativity also, as it came off of Michael Kempter. They tried to retake, but there was a save here from the keeper.
And what a save from Mendoza.
Mendoza and his defense hungry. They want not just the win, but of course the clean sheet, as we mentioned. A Filipino down here, as you see. This will become a de facto cooling break near the half-hour mark already. We've seen some chances. We've seen chances from both sides. Beautiful football.
It was Paulo Gali who's in charge of the deliveries for the corners. Not the best of deliveries for him, but when the ball fell back into his path again, takes a fantastic shot from distance, forcing a save from Kevin Mendoza. That was curling in a bound. One-hand save for Kevin Mendoza. Keep that out of harm's way.
And to add, of course, Kevin Mendoza out to make amends, given that the Philippines, you could say, gifted some goals to Tajikistan in their last home game right here. The fans, of course, expected better in that scenario. At that moment, the Philippines did give some momentum away to Tajikistan. And we are saying this, of course, because Tajikistan, a dangerous team. And what more? Also Timor Leste, as we've said. And it seems the 4 changes or so that the Lafayette made is keeping the Philippines guessing. While the Philippines, on the other hand, made minimal changes. So perhaps you could see that the coaching staff of Coach Jose Pedro are able to read this team of the Philippines well, like the back of their palms or hands.
When you think about the goals as well that the Philippines has scored, though we did create a lot of chances, most of the chances we were able to convert against Timor-Leste were from errors. So if Timor-Leste can minimize the errors that they make, now it's looking like it's harder for the Philippines to score from the chances that they're just purely creating.
If you flip it also with Timor-Leste scoring with Paulo Gali, amazing effort, a solo effort. Perhaps you could argue he assisted his own goal as he got to create it himself. They'll try to break that defense and create gaps from the back.
And that's the thing about players like Paulo Gali. Great individual brilliance to create something out of nothing.
That's something the Philippines have also been able to witness from Garrett Holtman. Just some of the players to look out for in this game. Linesman says it will still stay here with the Philippines. The next game day again here in the AFC Asian Cup 2027 Qualifiers final round. That will be on November 18. Timor Leste will host Tajikistan. And Maldives will host the Philippines. Throw in. Schneider returned it. Challenge from behind. Went past the touchline. So Timor Leste will still get the comforts of playing at home, for where it's Darwin, Australia for them in this group stage. The Philippines will play its remaining games on the road. And in an anticlimactic fashion, it will go back the way here of the Timorese.
When you think of this first 11 of the Philippines as well, a lot of players currently playing in Thailand.
Leipold, Sancho Reyes, Schneider. That was lovely and tight space, but it went to the opposing side. Desperately cleared off. A bit of the back and forth. Joao Rangel trying to break free. He really has that battle going on with Joseph Bakay. But this one is collected. Zinivio Mota stabilized the ship. Gave it over to the skipper, Gali. You could see he's also on another level with the way he moves. Similar to the likes of Garrett Holtman. Rangel got to keep it in. He hit the flag with his arm though, but the ball was in, as I've mentioned. John played it back as opposed to crossing it. Mota got this one forward. Gali. And the clearance of Schneider came off an opposing man. Just soaring above. This is cleared off now by the Timorese. They are contesting that non-call.
You have to give it to the midfield players. As a player that's down right now, Zenevio Mota is doing fantastic work for Timor Leste. Just threading the needle for them. Something that was definitely missing in their first matchup against the Philippines.
Because as we saw again in that last game, the Philippines just stepped on the throttle very early and took that game away from Timor Leste. There was that incident. Timor Leste arguing that non-call. Mendoza has to release quickly. He was also hit in the process. "11 minutes and change remaining in the first half." A big thank you again for joining us. We are coming to you from the new Clark City Athletic Stadium. Alongside Natasha Alquiros Data, this is Clara Monzano. We'll be bringing the commentary for this one. Give it to Holtman on the left. Will he work his magic? Ott. We've seen memorable goals from him from that distance. Not too many goals from Manny Ott in his time in a Philippines shirt, but a number of them outside of the box and memorable to their fans. Mendoza had to clear it. Holtman thought he got this one against his man. But not the case.
It's been a quiet first half so far for Garrett Holtman.
The home fans voicing their displeasure there. Timor Leste ranked number 3 again in this, or in Group A at the moment. Philippines and Tajikistan pretty much in a deadlock in number 1. We got to see on tiebreakers, it's the Philippines who did get ahead. Timor Leste out to qualify for the Asian Cup for the first time. The Philippines did qualify in 2019, but not the case in 2023. Contrasting stories. But Tajikistan, fellow groupmates, did make it to the quarterfinals back in 2023. Patience key here. That is what we are witnessing at the moment. Timor Leste did employ back 5 and a back 4 in that October 9 matchup. They were changing also from time to time. The Philippines employed a 4-3-3 and a 3-4-3. I think both sides being a little more straightforward now, just going with the 4-3-3. And oftentimes when you have a double round robin with 4 teams, as there's a fall there from a Filipino player, Bjorn Christensen, showing us he's built tough, got back up in his feet. But going back, when you have a 14 group where they play each other twice, this bit always the challenging one. The reverse fixture. So you play against a certain team, back-to-back games.
Especially because the second time you go once against each other, now you know the adjustments that you need to make.
Perhaps with your...
Timor Leste, of course, defensively, they have been making the right adjustments.
Perhaps with your experience as a player, if you've figured in similar situations, when you're playing against your matchup, you guys have that mind game saying, hey, I know your next move, and so do you. Mendoza surveys now. Had to play it long again. Timor Leste, you could argue, dictating play at the moment, seeing more time with the ball.
And despite the high press of the Philippines, as we've mentioned, Timor Leste able to find the gaps in between. And even though the Philippines win that first ball, the second ball, they're quickly able to win it back.
Coach Carles again, Spanish, the coach of the Philippines, the coach of Timor Leste, Coach Jose Pedro from neighboring Portugal. They're getting through now, the fans driving them on. Leipold got clipped. It's a free kick here, gifted to the home side. The fans anticipating this.
We know that this could be very dangerous. A lot of players in the Philippines capable of converting from this distance and set piece opportunities.
In this very stadium, as we have the replay first to show us what went on. Last time around, Garrett Holtman did rattle the goal frame. That was against Tajikistan. And Bjorn Christensen did score off the rebound. It is not the same formula now, though. They pulled out Holtman. They are going for Leipold at the moment. Here's that ball, just sails over the bar though.
Andre Leipold, of course, a new addition to the Philippine team. Only 3 appearances so far.
He did make his debut versus Tajikistan. Also played in that previous fixture between these two teams. Leipold showing us his footwork. The Timorese read that well. They stepped on the brakes here. They wanted to play it quickly initially. There's a bit of the slide as they were trying to switch it behind Mota. Holtman providing support. Oh, an exchange of words, I think, off camera. Reyes threads the needle to Holtman. Is he going to spring something up here for the home side? And there was a slide from Andre Leipold. And as they opted to play long, the likes of Nihom and Tabinas got to clean up at the back. Also a bit hard to imagine. We're already in the 40th minute with the amount of action we've seen. That chess game between our coaches and players.
So no goals to show for so far, but as we mentioned, a lot of action, a lot of chances created. No one with a true advantage yet.
We're going to send this one the other way. Schneider to Nihom. And Nihom did score against Timor Leste about 3 years ago. That was in the regional level of competition. Reyes blowing by his defenders. Shoots it with his left, but it was wide from the get-go.
Sandro Pero Reyes showing, of course, his capability. Dominant on the 1v1, able to get away from the press. Gets himself some space to take a shot. Just couldn't get that shot on target.
With the work rate here of Schneider winning it on the left. There's Holtman to support. Schneider bring it up with his solo effort. It's in the corner. Holtman. Ott. Reyes is opening up. They're trying to be cheeky. Holtman sent it in with his left, but it was read well by player number 5 in Joao Panji. And now they douse the flames there, and it's into the gloves. John working things out on the left with Zinivio Mota. Nihom. Mendoza switched it up, but it was won here. Some heroics from Jefferson Tabinas, one of the workhorses. Philippines having some catching up to do. But it is given away just like that. It will stay with the Timorese, according to our assistant referee on the other side.
The errors in the back have been adding up for the Philippines. But the Bina's crucial touch there. Stop a quick counterattack.
When you break down the CV of our opposing coaches, Coach Carlos Cuadrat did get a stint also in India. He's also been through the likes of the FC Barcelona system with Coach Jose Pedro. Very experienced back home in Portugal. Swing it to the other side. They're trying to corner Kali. Playing it through. Reyes letting it go. I'm not so sure if he was pulled there, but the keeper saw that one and played it quickly. Great presence of mind from Jonildo Pereira. Here they come now. Zinivio Mota will try to roll the dice. Out wide to Joao Rangel. He also did see minutes last game. He came off as a sub, or came on, and is intercepted by Kevin Mendoza. Holtman on an island, opting to stick to that team game of theirs. Reyes playing it through. Lepo to chase, gets his boot to it. Still bringing it. I believe it came off of his boot. And without hesitation, the referee linesman said corner kick here to the Lafayette.
But just a touch too many there from Leipold. He was able to break away. He had two options, take a shot or make a pass to a player inside the box. And by the time he made that decision, it hit his foot before it sailed out.
2 minutes.
Decision making inside the box, taking them a couple of seconds too long.
You do that, the defense recovers. 2 minutes of additional time, as we got to confirm with our pictures. Referee says play on. Here they come now. Options in the center and on the other side. Trying to play it, and Rangel keep it in. That's the case. John provides assistance. This one on target, and it's a wonder goal right here from the visitors. Stunning the home side. And you could feel there was something from Rangel. The away fans enjoying that one. I tried to confirm though if it's Rangel, but fantastic. There you go. That's our goal scorer, Joao Rangel, as we said.
And what a fantastic goal from Rangel. As you mentioned, Timor Leste, they have been dangerous on those quick counterattacks. And what a perfect time to score for the visiting side right before halftime to get that advantage. He had to do a lot on that left-hand side. Finding himself some space, no player from the Philippines really pressing him. He was allowed that time and space to take a shot from distance. And that just curls perfectly, dipping right inside that goal frame, giving Timor Leste the advantage. just zonal defending there, no one pressing him.
Confirmation once more in the goal for Joao Rangel, the man with the number 9 jersey. And as we see, of course, with the respective chances they had, Timor Leste showing one now on the scoreboard. Some chances gone begging for the Philippines, hitting the woodwork, missing some shots also from distance. We're seeing some decision making up front also. And just like that, we do have the halftime whistle from referee Torpong Somsing. At the moment, the man pictured Joao Rangel, the lone goal scorer. Timor Leste leads the Philippines 1-0 at the half.
You guys are right behind it.
And we are back here at the new Clark City Stadium where the Philippines and Timor Leste are battling it out in an exciting first half. And joining me again here at the studio are Claudio Manzano and Natasha Alquiros. Now let's talk about what we've seen so far, that clutch goal from Timor Leste.
The Philippines started out strong. They hit the post early on, but afterwards, will magbi-build up ba yung gigil? Because, oh no, we hit the post, we couldn't score. And then voila, Timor-Leste leads. I'm not saying that because I'm surprised, because whenever there's a game, whether you play against a lower-ranked team or a higher-ranked team, I call these disgracia goals. You want to avoid that, where it's a situation you could have stopped. And I think, yes, you got to credit Joao Rangel for that. But if you look at it in the defense, as Natasha and I were also talking about it earlier, they let him work his magic. And when you let a team work their magic and play their game, that's what's gonna happen. So, yeah, they gotta rescue something within 45 minutes.
You think that it's a disappointing first 45 minutes for the Philippines. We created a lot of chances. You know, as you mentioned, Tabinas hitting the post early, Leipold with chances as well. Christensen, not as sharp as you'd hope from him, especially that through ball down the middle, finding him, he couldn't control it as well. And now you're going to think, when it comes to the second half, it could either go two ways. You know, the momentum has shifted inside of Timor Leste, so now they have the advantage.
Yep.
They're going to go more defensively. Now it's going to be harder to break them. They'll send more players down. So let's see how the Philippines reacts to this. Because in terms of chances created, the Philippines has created more chances than Timor Leste from open play. Timor Leste have enjoyed a lot of the corner kicks. Again, they were so quick on those transitions and creating chances from them. And let's just hope that the Philippines, of course, picks it up. We know that they're clinical. They have technically very good players. Holtman was quiet on that left side. Christensen, maybe one or two chances maximum only that he's created. So you'd hope that in this second half, the Philippines can show what they're capable of doing. Because it's a bit of a lackluster performance in that first half.
Now, Tasha, from a player's point of view, what do you think the Philippines should be doing tactically, especially coming into the second half?
Well, first of all, they have to play sharper. In the back, you can't create those mistakes. Timor-Leste will pounce on those mistakes. That's for defensively. On the attack, as you've mentioned, they were trying to play that high press, but they weren't able to create as many chances as you'd want them to create. And it's just being more clinical with the chances that they did create. I feel that that's just the two things. It's sharper in the back in terms of less mistakes, and up on top, just clinical finishing, because they put themselves in a lot of attacking positions and they're able to create chances up on top. But we hit the side netting, we hit the post, you know, goalkeeper makes a save as well. But yeah, there's still a lot of positives that can happen in the second half. So it's still anyone's game. But of course, Timor-Leste at the moment have the advantage.
Now, Clara, especially seeing the team's performance so far, I know you guys have talked about this being a lackluster performance. But heading into the second half, which players do you think should be stepping up? Who should we be seeing more of, especially in the last 45 minutes?
I was saying earlier that everyone was playing a bit in contributing, like a group project. But in this instance now, you're chasing it, you got to look to your captain, Maniot. He's playing the 6 in the 4-3-3. And with him in the middle, he's the most experienced player. He's going to facilitate. If you're in the middle, you're connecting with the defense. You're connecting with the wingers, the fullbacks. So they'll play through him. But I'm not saying it's going to be him who's just going to carry this whole team. But it's up to him just to kickstart things. But hey, if we could see a special from him, because I did mention, when he scores, it's outside of the box and very memorable. We'll take that nonetheless. But then again, the Philippines need a win, and they just want to chase or keep qualification hopes alive.
Yeah, definitely. Now, I know it's been very, the crowd, we were on the edge of our seats. It's such an intense game so far, and the crowd is loving every moment. The energy from inside the stadium is very, very contagious. You can definitely hear the shouts of the crowd, which should be helping our national team. And so we'll see if the Philippines can create some rhythm heading into the second half. But of course, before we go, we wanted to give you a sneak peek to the fan zone that jump-started our night earlier. Now, this was prepared by the PFF for our football fans, where they invited P-pop girl group G22, who fired up the stage to energize the crowd. Now, for you guys, were you able to visit the fan zone earlier?
Yeah, I was there really early. Konti ba yung mga tao, everything was set up already, and I already felt the atmosphere.
Yeah.
There was the music, of course. People notice. I like to come very early on a national team game day. I will say it's not for the booze, because I would drive home. But I'm there to enjoy it, of course, with my friends. There's always interesting food choices. And that's how I got to enjoy myself before this game.
Yeah, how about you, Tasha?
Yeah, I was able to check it out as well earlier. And, we saw that Go Time, they're selling their jerseys. We saw memorabilia from the men's national team as well, and I was able to get some coffee. And for me, during game days, it's very important when I'm covering that I get my coffee fix. So
me
I'm
too.
happy that I was able, it's just a few steps away to be able to get everything that you want for the game.
Nainggit ako sa'yo, Fiona, because you got to see G22 and I did not.
I did, and I got to
I
interview
did
them
not.
on stage.
Kaya inggit ako.
It was such a surreal thing to be a part of, and definitely, I think my favorite part was also seeing the Filipino crowd just crowding together, staying in front, cheering for the Philippines, cheering for our Filipino talents. We're not just here for the game, of course, but we're here to support just Filipino talent in general. And that's, it's been so fun so far. So definitely more of that, guys. Stay tuned. More insights coming your way right after this break. Once again, you're watching Pitch Talk Philippines live at the stadium. See you guys in just a few moments.
glad you could join us again alongside Natasha Alquiros-Data. This is Clara Manzano. We'll be keeping you company for this game. The Philippines in all blue playing from right to left. Going to play catch-up from the get-go. It's been quality from this Timor Leste side. On paper, you could say they're out to produce an upset. But even with their ranking, which we mentioned, which is much lower than the Philippines, people were always aware of the quality that they bring, the lively counterattacks. And now they're looking very dangerous with their discipline. The Philippines did display some moments, of course.
Taking advantage of a corner opportunity. And Jefferson Tabinas able to convert, giving the home fans something to cheer for. Much better outing for the Philippines in the second half.
You're coming out the halftime break. Your coach Carles, you get what you asked for, just what you ordered. But if you are Coach Jose Pedro, and perhaps you had that different initiative of maybe controlling the game by a bit and suffocating the home side, figuratively, I will say. But that one's out of the window, and the game just flips because of that. Game on, as we say, whenever there's an equalizer, regardless of side.
Timor-Leste Rangel scoring right before halftime. And the only time Timor-Leste enjoyed that advantage was during that halftime break. Only a minute to start that second half. And Philippines shifting gears.
Garrett Holtman contesting a non-call. They are energized. The coaching staff of the Philippines animated in their technical area.
Closer look at Popoy Clarino and Edsa Capaño. Players who have played at high level in the Philippines. Edsa Capaño, one of the best products of the Philippines when it comes to goalkeepers.
He did play for the national team. Things getting physical. Oh, there's some second motion here. Christensen down on the ground. You also see Joao Panji getting involved. Nelson Viegas just trying to pass.
Breathing to play.
Out wide. Randy Schneider, Kempter supporting left. A shot from distance, but it is wide of the near post. The moment you resume the second half, Philippines Timor-Leste, hey, someone's going to score a goal, just like what we saw 5 days ago. But at that time, it was Paulo Gali scoring to trim the running about 60% the length of the field.
And you got to give it to Schneider. His work rate effort has been great. He did give that poor cross that quickly turned into a switch of possession. But so fast to make amends for that, win it back for them.
Sometimes those are the intangibles that could just lead to a team picking up possession. Taken quickly by Paulo Gali. Perhaps too quickly. I saw the ball move just a bit. Gali, the facilitator as expected. Mota trying to take on Michael Kempter. Gali again. Ilafaek will recycle. Timor-Leste in all white as compared to the Philippines. And it's won here by Leipold. Holtman in the middle. Can he take it through or left and right? And it's a save here by the keeper. And Pereira frustrating Garrick Holtman and his squad. But it's a corner kick here. The job's not done defensively for Timor-Leste. But if you're the Philippines, you're keeping the pressure on.
And a shot from distance from Holtman.
Sandro Reyes. He did spend his youth days also in FC Barcelona's youth ranks. He was born in the Philippines before making the move. Ott gives it back to Reyes. Lobbing this one. Reverse header in hopes of setting up a teammate. Cleared up desperately by the back line. And you do see, of course, Ryan Jones been putting in the work at left back. Throw in for the Philippines. Holtman trying to get through tight space. And it is a corner here conceded by Timor Leste. The Filipinos will try to capitalize.
Equalizer, of course, taking advantage of a corner opportunity. Able to take advantage of that set piece. And let's see if they can do it again.
A total of 3 offsides in the first half, as we saw in our statistics earlier. 7 fouls. But nonetheless, it's been a physical game. And do you mind taking us through what goes on here before a corner? All of a sudden, play's about to go on and you see something like this.
Timor Leste, now they know they have to up their game, especially on defending corner opportunities. Even in the first half, the Philippines were able to create one of their best chances from a corner piece.
Played short, floated in, off target here though for Holtman.
Yeah, the power, able to keep it low, just couldn't get it on target. Dangers again from the Philippines. Able to find the players inside the box, right outside. They've been getting that first touch.
After that lengthy spell for the Philippines, which looked to be a bit promising, they were causing havoc. It's now Timor Leste. The Timorese will try to come up with something. Some commentators curse at it. It goes to Tabinas. He'll try to set up now with Mendoza. Movement in the technical area for the visitors. We are expecting a change. Confirmation of our goal scorers. We've got Rangel and Tabinas. I'd like to think that standoff or chess game continues here, given that the Philippines scored the halfway mark. Bakay released it. He played it though to an opponent. Gali opening up wide here, stretching the defense. The 20-year-old captain, quite young for a captain, we will say. Kempter, does he get the stop? They say it is a goal kick here for Mendoza and the Philippines.
Much better defending from the Philippines. Kempter just putting all that pressure on Gali, forcing him to take a heavy touch. Ball falls in favor of the Philippines.
Just going back with Paolo Gali, who gets to be a captain as the young up-and-coming star of the team? Normally you'd see an older player hold the armband with their presence in the locker room or their leadership on the field, but this guy can lead by example like this. You know, the Philippines got the stop here, but a dangerous player.
A player still down for Timor Leste. Zion Cruz.
We also did not see any changes actually coming out of the halftime break. We are expecting one for Timor Leste at the moment, given their movement in the technical area, even prior to this stoppage right here. Time continues to tick. We are nearing the 60th minute already in this game.
Something to cheer for again for the Philippines as well. This is such a young team. A lot of their core players still only 21, 22, 23 years old.
And because I will say, Maniot is their captain. Now, once upon a time, he was their teenager on the pitch, being that young gun. And Maniot, Amania Ginaldo, who was on the bench. Two players who are actually in the top 10 when it comes to all-time appearances. There's really been the changing of the guard. And for Timor-Leste, also a young team, we will say. They get an up-and-coming Paolo Gali as their captain now. The switch of play there. They wanted to thread the needle, but it was denied by Mota. Chom sending it wide off the head of Sandro Reyes. Holtman. And you see it was given up by Joseph Bakay to let Sandro Reyes facilitate. Going down the right, creeping inside the box. This one got poked away. The Philippines contesting that also. Kempter wins this one, gets it back in the attacking end. And it's pretty much where things started off. Holtman slicing the defense, couldn't go for Christensen. Leopold could not secure. Zinevio Mota cool under pressure. Timor Leste playing that team game to get it out. As we say that, they bring it up quickly. And both teams able to utilize the switch here to find the open lane. The goal scorer, Joao Rangel, steps in the breaks. Kali taking on Kempter, forcing him to retreat. Nonetheless, they'll give it back to Jonildo Pereira. And Jonildo did not play in those first 3 games for Lila Faek. He's one of those many changes again in the starting lineup of this game. It's back with him. The usual goalkeeper in the last 3 games was Jorginho da Silva, who has the number 1 jersey. Jonildo with the number 12.
So far, we're seeing the Philippines just more organized defensively, not allowing Timor Leste to create any chances.
The activity in the Timor Leste box continues, or the technical area rather. And there's a chance that Mozinho will enter. But first, here's Garrett Holtman again. He's been connecting with Reyes. A low cross, they force another corner. Here's that change we were expecting earlier. The Philippines continuing to put the pressure on the Timorese defense. There's Sandro Reyes.
This time you feel that it's a press with purpose. Because that quick press, again, turning it this time into dangerous chances or to corner opportunities.
Mozinho checks in. And Zion Cruz calls it a day after about an hour of action. Mozinho does play his club football right here in the Philippines. He plays for Aguilas UMAC FC. And he's actually in the top 6 for all-time goal scorers in his country, Timor-Leste. We do see some of his club mates in attendance actually, whether it be team staff or players. Here's the outswinger. They try to go for it. Seemed like Jefferson Tabinas was the main man.
And interesting enough, of course, that the only player playing on the pitch at the moment that plays in the Philippine Football League is a player that is playing for the Timor-Leste side. As a lot of the players right now on this lineup are playing, as I've mentioned, 6 of them currently playing in Thailand: Mendoza, Nihon, Tabinas, Kempter, Ott, and the others like Holtman, Christensen, Leipold, all playing in Europe.
And I will add to that also. But first, here comes Michael Kempter. Schneider on the receiving end of a push. Referee allowing teams to play here. Bjorn Christensen wanted to capitalize. The keeper hits the emergency button. It's a foot race to secure. Just going back, there's also Kaka of Timor-Leste, who is a national team player. He was not named to this squad. But he also does play in that same club of Mozinho. But there are a number of players in the Philippines who did go through the Philippines Football League or the PFL once upon a time or recently. Here's a foul called. The apologies sent over from Santiago Costa over to the Costa rather to Randy Schneider. Some players who did play in the local league here, the likes of Christian Rontini, Harvey Gayoso, Amani Aguinaldo. That was very physical.
That's just a foul from Santiago da Costa on Schneider.
Michael Kempter. He did move to Thailand also recently. He did play in the likes of Switzerland also. Kempter, his roots actually in the Philippines go to or are connected to Pasay City. We are playing this game though in the new Clark City Athletic Stadium in Capas Tarlac, north of Manila. Philippines getting its center backs or their center backs past the half line. You see that attacking intent. About 20 minutes into the second half already. And just because of that goal, do you say momentum favors the Philippines?
Say a better and stronger second half from them. Able to convert that chance. They were close to doubling it up. Also just not allowing Timor Leste to really get into the groove this second half.
Tried to play to Christensen, overhit. The keeper saw that one well. Played it long, outside though. And here's the first change for the Philippines. Harvey Gayoso is going to enter for Andre Leopold. Gayoso did get the start in that last game. So will maybe some of his effort or personal magic pay off in this game. And you could say, of course, started in that 4-1 win. They put him in now. Can he help them get the job done? Timor Leste, you see them, of course. They did insert Mozinho, and they're continuing to bank on Cali to lead the way.
Gayos, of course, played in the Cambodian League. Now playing in Thailand.
Holtman, did he run out of space? It took 3 players to stop him. They triggered the foot race. They're going for the fresh legs of Mozinho. Played back by Jesper Nyholm. Confidently knocked by Mendoza here to Nyholm. As you thought, Joao Rangel was going to win it. Came off of his boot. It's past the sideline. The next game day again is November 18. The Philippines will travel to Maldives. But here comes Bjorn Christensen inside. Stepped on the brakes, slowing down, thought about it. But denied by the defense. Tucked in the office here for the lead striker of the team in blue.
It was a great splitting pass to Christensen. Just turned on the jets. Gets the advantage.
With Bjorn Christensen notching 7 goals again in the first 3 games, 4 of those from the last game against Timor Leste. Perhaps Timor Leste did their homework and they are executing it to perfection. Hence, it's a 1-1 game at the moment.
You could say that a lot of the dangerous attempts and the goal at the moment coming from Tabinas, your center back.
With Bjorn,
That spells a picture of how your attacking players have been performing at the moment.
tough day, as we've said. Would you say a clinical striker will put that away quickly?
You'd also have to say better defending from Timor Leste.
It's Timor Leste playing that lively counter-attacking game. Gali got the defense to think, but this one is definitely over the bar and out. Joao Rangel wanted to make it a brace this evening for him.
The only chance so far from Timor Leste in the second half. And that was skied.
But what do you do if you are the Philippines? Your main striker is having an off day, maybe we could say or argue. Do you expect just someone to step up?
Yeah, you could see that Timor Leste not allowing him that much space, closing him down as quickly as possible. And as you mentioned, it's time for the other players to step up, contribute on the attack as well.
Gayoso trying to make an impact. A bit of the slide, Schneider. Will this lead to a goal? The defense says no once more. "20 minutes in change remaining." Is that backline of Timor Leste, you could say, also holding on. The Philippines also stretched as we saw in that previous spell.
You could feel that a goal could be coming anytime. Very lively outings from the Philippines.
That ball was handled well. Reyes. It's Reyes to Holtman. We've been seeing plenty of those connections. Ansley Holm getting involved. Christensen the touch. Buries it here. 2-1. The away side left quiet. The entire stadium here erupting.
And you could feel that goal coming. Philippines continuously on the bounce. Sandro Reyes doing well to win it back and swing it to the opposite flank. Laniot finding player inside. Christensen gets that goal. Nyholm rather. What a pass from Nyholm. You had 4 players running inside. Very hungry to find another goal. And eventually Bjorn Christensen puts the Philippines on top for the first time in this game.
The thing there here with the Filipinos was they played the numbers game. Jesper Nyholm, a defender, got forward, assisted that. He played the holding midfield role last game when the Philippines asserted themselves over Timor Leste. As you were saying earlier, Tabinas was helping in terms of offense, and now Jesper Nyholm playmaking.
It's something that you expect as well from the defenders nowadays, especially in modern football. Not just to help on the defensive duties, but to help create chances up on top. As you mentioned, Tabinas, that aerial ability, winning those aerial challenges. And for Nyholm as well, giving the assist to the second goal of the Philippines.
We also saw Jeff Tabinas get into the books of our referee. Confirmation also in the screens right here over at their venue. Momentum somewhat swinging like a pendulum, but maybe a bit slower. Timor Leste in all white again. The Timorese do have a goal thanks to that spectacular effort from Joao Rangel. The Philippines, on the other hand, fighting back. 2 goals in the second half so far unanswered. Jefferson Tabinas leveled it. Bjorn Christensen with that goal. That's his lucky number 13 in his time wearing the Philippines shirt. For the second consecutive game, Claudio Osorio is going to step off. Some of the players checking in. There's Cretelian Dos Santos, the other man, Mario Quintao. The other Timorese player did step up the other side. So it is Ryan Jong, which is a little bit surprising with the way he's been influential on defense and offense. Here's Holtman. Holtman eventually charged with the foul. We did see a lot of physicality there. Garrett Holtman is down. We are not sure if that is cramps because he does see regular minutes in the Bundesliga. And here's Amani Aguinaldo, co-captain of the team.
The Philippines quickly able to turn things around here at the second half. "73 minutes.
And it's the Philippines, you could say, tentatively in the driver's seat. But they are slowly securing that one and making it theirs outright. But Cayoso got to keep this in, and it was cleared off. Gali. Just when we thought he was working his magic, that was the case because he won the throw in. The skipper furious, along with Coach Jose. Michael Kempter down. He is hurt from that challenge.
Timor Leste not happy about that. You think that they were going to take it quickly, take the advantage while there's one player down.
But they switched it up here.
Timor Leste introducing more players into the second half. Muzinho, Dos Santos, Quintao.
Viegas gave this back to Joao Panji. They played this one over the top. Tabinas was here. Muzinho. Kempter lost his footing, but sent it back to safety temporarily. As this one is given, or this one taken, but definitely offline for the Lafayette. Here's a change, though, for Coach Carlos Cuadrat. There is a Manny Aguinaldo who will enter along with Zico Bailey. The player stepping off. There's Manny Ott. The other being Jesper Nyholm.
So you'd say two like-for-like substitutions. Nyholm's day is done. Plays in that center-back role, and in his place is Manny Aguinaldo. Change in that midfield guard as well. Today is done, and in his place is Zico Bailey.
For the moment here, I think there's a last-minute decision, some confusion in the sidelines. It is only Manny Aguinaldo who stepped in for Jesper Nyholm. That change of Zico Bailey for Manny Ott was pulled at the last minute. And I will say, and I am aware, these changes can actually be made at the last minute. Sandro Reyes is stepping off. But the moment a player steps onto the pitch, that sub is deemed as final. That ends the 3-game run of Sandro Reyes, playing all 90 minutes. He doesn't look a bit tired, though. Seems like he could play another 90 after this. A bit shaky from Timor Leste. Zico Bailey, first touch of the game.
As you all know, Sandro Reyes is a player that's really good on the attack. You also need to be able to change that. You now have the lead. The Philippines has that 2-1 lead. Need a player that's quicker on those transitions as well, that's good defensively as well as on the attack.
Zico Bailey, his brother Kainwa, did get call-ups also for the Philippine national team. Zico does play for New Mexico United in the United States. There's the diaspora Filipinos who are actually in the Americas. It's Garrett Holtman. Got it to Cayoso. Cayoso, a standout who went up the homegrown or local ranks here. Michael Kempter. Rather than crossing, dribble it inside. Randy Schneider. Wide to Cayoso. Low cross, but denied by the defense here. A busier shift than usual for Joao Panji at the back, along with his partner, Anizo Correa. Have we seen it all? We've seen lead changes, shifts in momentum, changes to the defense. Is there something missing? I'm asking you first, given your experience as a player.
Just say more goals.
More goals, very interesting. We'll leave it up to the teams to decide. But at the rate that it is going, the Philippines keeping it in the attacking third. Timor Leste, as expected, being dangerous on the counter. As we say that, Randy Schneider denies the skipper.
Say the second half has fallen kindly to the Philippines. They've upped the pressure, they've upped their chances created. They were much more sharp on both ends of the field, whether on the attack or on defensive duties as well. But until that final whistle, you cannot count Timor Leste out.
The win is awarded after 90 minutes, as we know. We are only in the 79th. But in halftime, which is a checkpoint, Timor Leste did lead. As Mozinho could not connect, but that ball was on target, and Mendoza had to come up with a stop.
Those are those dangerous balls, the ones that you're allowed to bounce just right in front of the goal.
Sometimes they just change trajectory. Or I'm also aware goalkeepers, they're diving to the right, and next thing you know, a shot comes off your defender or an opponent, and the ball goes the other way, keeping you flat-footed. A look again at our scores at the moment. Bjorn Christensen and Jefferson Tapinas. And there was Joao Rangel to open things up for Timor Leste and white. Zico Bailey hit it to Garrett Holtman. Support from Joseph Bakay. Correa was at the right place at the right time. We see that Bakay is down. I am assuming it is his left thigh bothering him at the moment. The lower body. There's 10 minutes and added time remaining here at the new Clark City Athletic Stadium. A big thank you to those, of course, who joined us at the stadium, and a good evening to our viewers, of course, around the world. Alongside analyst Natasha Alquiroz-Data, this is Claro Manzano, bringing you the commentary for this game. And here's another change for Coach Pedro. We did see the Carvalho did enter the game. There's also one more Timorese player who entered.
With Joao Pedro coming in the mix for Timor Leste. As we've mentioned, he is one of their key players. 26 appearances so far, 27 as of today, and 8 goals for Timor Leste. He is the top scorer for Timor Leste.
Top scorer all time. 8 goals. And the thing is, his maiden goal was against the Philippines, as we've mentioned, 7 years ago in the regional level.
So he's introduced at a critical moment in this game. Substitution for Timor Leste to try shift the odds back in their favor.
Timor Leste, or the Philippines on the other hand, continuing to keep Bjorn Christensen up front. Who scores on a difficult day? Bjorn Christensen managed to do so also.
And in this tournament, Bjorn Christensen, 8 goals so far in 4 games. It's averaging of 2 goals per game.
And it's already a feat to average 1 goal per game, statistically speaking. But this one let loose by the defense. Bjorn shifting lanes. Is he going to bury it again? But there was a show of character here. Just when he thought it was all good. Never underestimate Timor Leste, the back line in the heart of the Lafaek.
Defensively, the substitute, Mario Quintao, making that run. What a pass. Defender makes a mistake. Christensen beats the goalkeeper. But speedy work from Quintao to get to it first. And makes a do-or-die sliding effort to be able to send that ball outside rather than the back of the net.
As we've mentioned, the contingent of Timorese fans right here, No surprise, of course, with their passion. A great number of Filipino fans here, as expected also at the new Clark City Athletic Stadium. The Philippine men's national team calling this home for the AFC Asian Cup 2027 qualifiers final round. But that thing with Quintao, fresh legs for your defense, looks like that's paying off because both coaches actually made changes to their backline. I'm aware that's something we do not always see, changing your defense, but they did here. Time continues to tick. About 6 minutes and change remaining.
Philippines so far with a slim lead, 2-1. And those are 2 goals, both that happened in the second half.
Just going back also with that count of Joao Pedro. It's his 26th appearance, but nonetheless, he's well in that all-time list for appearances. Manion shoots. The numbers there back. Holtman under plenty of pressure from his opposing number. And once more, Mario Quintao.
Holtman just using his physicality, letting that usher out, getting that throw in.
Some organization. Amani Aguinaldo moving back just in case. Timor Leste being forced down. Of course, they're down 2-1. They'd prefer to be on the attacking end, creating opportunities as they did in the first half. But things at the moment going the way of the Philippines. Kempter the stop. You see the frustration from Paulo Gali, the skipper. A far cry from the way he was operating in the first 45 or even the first 15 minutes of the second half. Challenge from behind. Schneider shaken up. And there's a yellow issue to Fretelian dos Santos, one of the substitutes.
A dangerous one from dos Santos. Completely clips Schneider there. A yellow card, deservingly so, for the challenge.
No yellow cards in the first half, we will say. All of them coming right here in the second 45. Garrett Holtman swapping over to the other side to deliver this outswinger. And as we say that, he plays it back. Getting us guessing along with the defense, Amani Aguinaldo. Flag raised already here. It's a goal kick once more. 2-1 again is the scoreline as we are about 3 minutes away from additional time. We are expecting a double change for the Philippines and coach Carles Cuadrat. Joao Rangel, the lone goal scorer again here for the Timorese in white. For the Filipinos, Jefferson Tabinas again. He leveled things at 1-1. Bjorn Christensen getting his 13th goal for the national team. Going back, as we mentioned, 8 goals in 4 games rather. Pressure from Zico Bailey. Timor Leste creeping up bit by bit. This is the game they got to play when they were in control. Things not going the way, though, of Nelson Viegas. With the stoppage of play, 2 attacking players being inserted. We've got Dylan Demoink and Sebastian Rasmussen. Rasmussen and Demoink did see action in the initial fixture 5 days ago. Garrett Holtman hobbled a bit. And they sub off the goal scorer.
Now just introducing fresh legs up on top for the Philippines.
Maniot showing some disappointment there.
And the changes so far for the Philippines, right down the spine and on the wings up on top.
Do you see these are not your usual changes? Oh, there's a yellow given. It's to the skipper. Paulo Gali was having a conversation with our fourth official and the linesman. Are these the usual changes, or are we seeing a little more than what we've expected?
And it's also because the Philippines have been putting on that high press. And because of that high press, you know, your attacking players are doing a lot of runs to win back the possession.
Very
So
interesting.
now that they're making well-timed subs.
Dangerous chance, second ball. Desperately cleared by Buzino, another goal! It's good here. Harvey Gayoso. That is the icing on the cake here. Do you say this is joy or relief for Coach Carles and his squad? The 8,753. Majority of those, of course, home fans. They are erupting in Kapas Tarlac.
And you gotta love the celebrations all around. And getting that cushion lead, crucial, critical moment for the Philippines. And nonetheless, coming from a substitute introduced in the second half. So well-timed substitution from the Philippines. And Harvey Gayoso making it now a comfortable lead for the Philippines. Homegrown hero, showing what he's capable of on the international stage. The second ball just fell kindly to him, but does a lot to make sure that stays on target.
I will say, Timor Leste players pointing at the big screen contesting a non-call. But that big screen, I'm aware, is not VAR. And if I may add there, in his 30th appearance for the senior men's national team of the Philippines, Harvey Gayoso just bagged his 4th goal.
Defense, of course, could have done better. That was a missed clearance from one of the defenders of Timor Leste.
Joao Panji will have to step off. But you have to applaud his character along with Aniza Correa. You see, they gave their all here. The ups and downs of the game as a yellow is issued to the bench of Timor Leste.
And the 2 of the 3 goals of the Philippines coming from set-piece opportunities, taking advantage of a corner, of a foul in the attacking third.
Perhaps something, of course, as we see the community enjoying the action. The Philippines, with height compared to this speedy Timor Leste side, who I will say are not afraid to play physical also. The home side want one more goal for the road, or the home fans.
Goal and this win for the Philippines could cement their place in the top spot and give them the best chance to qualify for the Asian Cup.
As we've said again, only the top-ranked team in each group will advance. The Philippines, Timor Leste, Maldives, and Tajikistan are competing in Group A again. Timor Leste out to book their first ticket or maiden appearance in the grand stage of Asia. The Philippines out to return again after qualifying in 2019 for the first time and then missing that bus in 2023. See the attacking intent. Maniot getting this. Ricocheted off a man. Randy Schneider calling for it. Ott took a fall. Oh, some displeasure here being shown by the Timorese, and it's another yellow. This yellow and given to Anizo Correa.
And you could feel that frustration just really adding up for the side of Timor Leste. They did really well in that first half, able to have the advantage right before the break. But at the second half, it's been all Philippines. And time not on Timor-Leste's side. Philippines with a 2-goal cushion.
And let's remember, if you're either team, you do not want to pick up these yellows, because if you accumulate them, 2 yellows, over a span of games, you are going to serve a suspension. And the next one, here's Zico Bailey. Giving it to the wing. Ott drifted wide. Gayoso! Off target there, but the keeper collected to be sure. Over in our other matchup in Group A, Tajikistan did back a 3-0 victory over Maldives.
Which makes it that much more important for the Philippines to get this win today. So Tajikistan and the Philippines with 10 points, tied again up on top. But the Philippines with a higher goal difference.
But just like that, the Philippines controlling added time. Frustration from the Timorese. But we did get the full-time whistle again, as we mentioned. It was clockwork management from the Philippines after taking that 2-1 lead. What more? They were able to make it 3-1. Harvey Gayoso, you could say, put this result beyond doubt. 3 unanswered goals from the Philippines to counter that lone goal. Still a highlight of a goal from Joao Rangel from Timor-Leste halftime. Confirmation of our goal scorers again. Gayoso, Christensen, and Tabinas. Right to Rangel. What an up and down game we've witnessed right here.
That second half magic for the Philippines that were able to turn things around. They were able to dig deep and switch the odds back in their favor in that whole perfect second half action. Tabinas getting a goal at the first minute of the restart of the second half. Christensen getting it 2-1 in favor of the Philippines. And Harvey Gayoso just putting the cherry on top, getting the 3rd goal for the Philippines.
A bit of a commotion as Amani Aguinaldo and some team officials were shaking hands. They voiced what appeared to be their displeasure. Some of the highlights here.
Nyholm, of course. It was Holtman. Nyholm makes the run, stays on side, a perfect pass inside the box. And Christensen makes no doubt about it, able to find the back of the net. Schneider. Missed clearance from Timor-Leste. And Harvey Gayoso getting at the back end of that and finding the back of the net.
And I did say earlier, the number of fans that Harvey Gayoso sent cheering, that figure, we received an updated count, is at 10,034. 3 consecutive games here that the Philippines have got in a crowd like that. They've turned this place into a fortress. But we are going to take it to the ground, of course, for our flash interviews.
Bjorn, congratulations congratulations on your goal and congratulations on the win. Do you have any insights or thoughts about the performance of the team?
Can you go higher? Yeah, I'm really proud of the team. We struggled a lot in the first half. We couldn't figure out how to press, but we stayed strong. Unluckily, we conceded 1 goal, but we were still we had the mentality that we should bring in the second half, and yeah, you can see we are a strong group with a big mentality. We trust each other, and yeah, I'm really proud of the team today.
What do you think are the implications of this match for the qualification of the Philippines in the Asian Cup?
No, this is a good 6 points from this week. We know that Timor Leste is they're a good team, good individuals quality, and good system. It's hard to break their press, and they are very good with the ball. But yeah, I'm really proud of the team. We figured out the press, and we got the 3 points with us.
Thank you very much, Born. Once again, congratulations. Any insights on the performance of your team on the match?
Well, overall disappointed. I thought we played really well first half. We came out 1-0 first half, but unfortunately, we've got to give credit to the Philippines. They played some really good football, and so did we. But unfortunately, the result won it tonight. So we just need to keep focus on the next one and keep working hard.
Thoughts on the atmosphere of the Philippine stadium?
Oh, the atmosphere is incredible. Incredible. I think it was around 8,000 tonight. Yeah, the atmosphere was top today, and that's what something that as a player we want. We want to be playing in them sort of atmosphere. So yeah, it was very good tonight. Thank you.
I'm very sorry.
What a night here at the new Clark City Stadium. The Philippines wraps up their final home match of the year in style with a score of 3-1, a strong showing against Timor Leste, and a perfect way to end their home qualifiers campaign. Now, Claro, Tasha, your thoughts?
Well, for me, of course, what a great second half. You know, they were able to quickly answer the questions that were asked in the first, as you've mentioned, not the best of finishing up on top, but in the second half, they were quickly able to turn things around and get the Philippines on that win column, which is so crucial to keep the Asian Cup hope alive.
I'm out of words. That game swung like a pendulum, but really slow with momentum. You gotta give kudos to Timor Leste. We keep highlighting they're a dangerous team on the counter-attack, and they displayed it, and they showed so much discipline.
Yes.
Such a complete package also. When the Philippines, Natasha pointed out, we scored our goals off of set pieces, and Bjorn Christensen scored on a bad day. That's his lucky number 13 in 15 appearances. Harvey Gayoso gave one for the road, but not just for the road, because that had to seal the result, right, to get a cushion. Got his 4th goal before the Philippines senior ranks in his 30th appearance. Great character shown from the boys, and yeah, showing us, of course, the win is awarded after 90 minutes. So hopefully, like a broken record, that momentum carries on.
Yep. And of course, 3 goals, 3 different goal scorers. 2 of the 3 goals from set-piece opportunities. And you gotta love how much the defending players were part of creating those chances. You know, Tabinas getting that first goal from the corner. From open play, Sandra Reyes to Holtman to down the wing to Niholm, giving that great cross, finding Christensen. As we mentioned, now he has 8 goals in 4 games in this tournament. But in total, 13 goals in 15 appearances.
Yes.
So those are fantastic stats for such a young player. And of course, as I mentioned earlier in the broadcast, you know, the cherry on top, Harvey Gayoso, giving something for that homegrown. You know what I mean? Like that extra local root.
Yep. Yeah, and actually, it really was, you know, the team's teamwork that made the difference, especially in the second half. You definitely could feel that unity between the players, the coaching staff, and of course the fans. It was wild. You know, actually, there are around 6,197 people in attendance, if I remember correctly. So that's a lot. 6,000.
We even got a count
Yeah.
afterwards, an update. It exceeded 10,000.
Oh,
10,034.
wow. Yeah,
more or less, yeah.
So there are so many Filipino fans watching in the stadiums, and I definitely feel like that helped, especially in boosting our team's confidence in today. And this truly has been such a special night for Philippine football. Tasha, Claro, you know, thank you so much for joining me tonight here in our Pitch Talk
Thank you.
studio at the new Clark City Stadium. It truly has been an incredible experience being a part of this match day atmosphere.
Yeah, always a pleasure, of course, and a fantastic way for the national team to play their last home game in this qualifiers final round for the Asian Cup. So it's going to be 2 difficult games, one in Maldives, one in Tajikistan. I keep oversimplifying it, pero alam natin mahirap, okay? We'll get the wins in those 2 games. So yeah, thanks a lot, Fiona.
Definitely, it's been a big night, and I'm so happy that to have that home advantage paying off. And this is something, of course, that we want, of course, everyone else to continue to support and root for Philippine football. It really makes a difference when you show up in the stadium. For the players playing, it gives them really that extra boost of confidence, and it makes that home crowd just that much more rowdy and making it that much more intimidating for the opposing team.
And actually, you know, whether or not they're playing at home or away, the fans, even in the comment section, you know, you could definitely feel the support. And so it's totally different. It's totally different atmosphere here. And I definitely feel like this was the heart of Philippine football.
And I
I'd
just
say.
want to add as well,
Yeah.
you know, it's actually my first time making the drive all the way here to this venue.
Yeah.
And sulit na sulit to come here. It's so easy to park here. There's so many things to do. They make it engaging. They make it a worthy experience. And minention nga to natin event, may bidet sa banyo. So I'm just saying,
And
that
tissue.
quality all around.
Yeah.
All around the stadium, where it's comfortable. It makes it for a great home environment. That you come here, it's really worth the drive.
Yeah, so definitely, you know, I hope with more home games upcoming, more and more Filipino fans come here to support. It truly was such an amazing experience, and we're so grateful to be a part of this wonderful event. This was history in the making, and we're just pieces who have made up this whole thing. So thank you so much again. That's all from us here on Pitch Talk Philippines, live at the stadium. On behalf of Claro Manzano, Natasha Alquiros, and our entire production team, my name is Fiona Bacani, saying Laban, Filipinas. Good night.